Hey everyone, hope you're doing okay. Came up to the farm yesterday, hoped to get some things done. Ended up getting sick instead. And now it's raining here on Friday. It's just gonna rain. It's been raining all day. So I think what I'll do is just walk around and kind of show you what we've accomplished trying to get ready for winter. What I hope to get done isn't going to get done, but we'll go from there. Thanks. All right, well, here's the first thing we did getting ready for winter. We cover the garden here. So last year we just had the one tarp, the brown one, that much area in place. And so this year we bought a second tarp and did further back. And what this does in the spring when we peel it back is it's pretty much just raw dirt. It's killed everything under the tarps, which is what we want. We don't want, because we can't plant until relatively late up here. And the weeds have already taken over, there's grasses growing. And by leaving the tarps on until we're ready to get going, we keep all that under control. So we'll pull the tarps, we'll till it, we'll plant it, and that'll work out the best. It worked out great this year. So that's number one, getting ready for winter. Over here, we you have seen some video of us cleaning up the fields. Here you can see we cleaned out the ditches. And they're stacked here, but those piles there's one there and there's one down here farther. Well, actually there are a couple down here farther. So there's one straight ahead of us through the trees there, and then there's another big one there. And that's the wood that we pulled out of here, here, the creek that's here, and that we pulled off where we put the trees in. And I showed you the trees in a prior video, but there's the one end. They come down here. One of these stakes is a tree, that one. The other one is a rock, that one. This is the plum tree here, the bushy kind of one. And then another apple, and then there's one kind of in the grass right here where that stake is at. Those are the trees that you saw the last time, and the one here where the stake is at will get cleaned up in the spring. But this stuff, this wood, we're going to decide if we're going to burn it or if we're going to haul it off the corner and just let it rot. So that's the other part of getting ready for winter, getting those trees in the ground, getting some of that cleaned up, getting this ditch cleaned out because we're going to have water running in it in the spring. And so the ditch we didn't do anything with this year. We showed you in the beginning of the year the flooding. And this is where that dig out starts at. And so we've got some projects this next winter to redo these covers, put bigger culverts in, and then lower this culvert that goes across the driveway. That's on our list. We're not there yet. We'll get to it. So we're here at the south gate. This was something else that needed to be done before winter. This gate over here on the left hand side had come off its mounts, and when it got rehung, these here were hitting the tree. And it took me a while to figure it out, but when whoever hung it originally had cut these notches in here, but we're a little above that. So I took the Milwaukee electric chainsaw, just trimmed this out here a little more so that these can rotate when the gate opens and closes, and it works good. This is going to get rebuilt at some point. Sitting on a tree there and a post here just isn't a long-term strategy. So these will get replaced with regular fence swing gate posts. And we'll probably leave it right about where it is. Our property line is back here where those are at, so we're set back off the property line a little bit. That's good. And then you know, I've shown you before, we did some more land clearing here. We got the brush taken out of there. You see that in a prior video as well. Got a bunch of that moved out. This is where the pump house is going to go, right in here. These last 3 trees are going to go. That tree's going to go, because this is where the shop is going to start, right about at this tree line here. Right about here is where the new shop building will go. Also note that we got a long extension cord and we got the motorhome plugged in. It's not 50 amp, but it's enough to run some lights, run a small heater. My son stays out there when he comes because he's allergic to the cats. And then the last thing in this list is this. So we're building a chicken coop. We built a duck house. I could build a pump house. This came up at the high school down in the cities. They have what they call their millennial program. And so it's construction. They have several of them. They have auto mechanics and construction. Anyhow, this was their project. They're building several of them. And so they came up for sale at a fairly reasonable price. I mean, they weren't cheap, but it also helps the school out. So I purchased one, they loaded it, and I brought it up here, just parked it because we're not ready for it. And when my skid steer gets back from repair, we'll be able to take this off whenever we're ready. What we'll probably do is put a pad where I showed you this, the pump house is going to go next to the electrical over there, and then the well is right there too. So that's all going to, you know, we'll just lay a pad and set the pump house there, and then we'll dig to bring the water line over from the well. It's all part of next year's projects though. So that gives you a decent rundown. And again, one of the things we accomplished this year, and it'll come up in another video, is this. And I've shown you that I think a couple of times. All right, that's it here.
Okay, now we're going to get some things put away. Just moving things into the garage. We already moved the wood for the chicken coop just to keep it dry. Getting the wheelbarrow out of the way, so if we do have to plow, it's not there. We're going to take this generator and put it in. This is a second generator. I bought this in the snowstorms of last year. It does a great job. It puts it out, but it's so temperamental in its electronics. We've had to have it fixed once, and it's broken again. There's nothing wrong with the engine or the generation. Power output. It's all in this on-off start sequence electronics that drive it. So it's pretty disappointing. You could barely move it without breaking it again. So it's broken at the moment. Just getting it in the garage to get it out of the way, get it out of the weather that's coming. Don't show it in the video here, but I also pulled the chains back into the garage. We're not going to put them on right now. We may put them on a bit later, but here in the 10th of December, we have no snow. It's over freezing, so there was really no reason to put those on. So yeah, just getting everything put away here, and then we'll move on to the next items that we're working on. The garage is about a third full of just junk in the back. Stuff that was there before we took over. So much clean out to do of everything, but we find enough room to get it put away.
This is interesting. So this is one of our chicken tractors, and we've left it out. It's raining here today, and they're using it as shelter if they're not out free ranging in the yard. They get out of the rain over there. The coop is the gray one on the left. The new coop that I'm in process on is on the right. I've been rained out of building on that coop so many times. It's going so slow. So I've moved all the wood into the garage. I'm going home because I'm sick. But next time I'm up, I'll get the last sheeting on this side done, get the roof joists on. We'll be ready to sheet a roof, so we'll make some progress. Okay, well, the last thing to do is we're updating the locks here. So we're going to take this lock off. It still functions, but these bicycle locks get corroded so easy. Actually, I'm going to leave it hooked here so that they don't slide away from each other, and put the new one in. Need one on my hat, huh? Well, I'm not wearing a hat, so how do you do this? Oh, there it goes. All right, here's the new one. And because there's not a latch here, and because they overlap, we have to wrap it around a couple times and around this post, and then latch it to keep it from swinging too much. So now I'm going to go ahead and take the other one off. This one was longer, so there's more of it. Oh, there it is. So I got that one out. Oh well, that'll be another project that either I don't have the right key or it is stuck. But we got the new one on. It has a protector here to keep the water from getting in. We try and tip it down so that the water doesn't seep around it. That seems to extend their life a little bit. We find that these cheap locks, we only get a year out of them. And then they get all corroded. So, all right, well, I'm headed for home. I'm not feeling well. Nora's coming down anyhow. She's gonna put the animals away, and I'm going home.
Like and subscribe.